for task one, all we're doing is once you've run the cell up here, which creates the string Gettysburg, we're going to first convert it to all lowercase letters. Now, the thing to remember here is that in order to change a string, you have to redefine it, which means that your command has to start with Gettysburg is equal to. Then we'll tell it what we wanted to do to Gettysburg, and that is we wanted to have Gettysburg lower, which will convert it to all lowercase. Okay, so when we do that, and we get an error, oops, lowers, that's not going to do it, but lower will. Okay, now if we were to add another code cell and take a look at Gettysburg, you'll see that Gettysburg is now all lowercase. Okay, so then we want to calculate the total length of all the words in Gettysburg. So not the number of words, but the total number of characters in all the words, which means we have to exclude the spaces. Now, technically, we should include the punctuation marks, but we'll just let that go for now. Okay, so in order to do that, a couple things. First of all, we can find the length of Gettysburg. And so we could say that that's just equal to the len Gettysburg. And then we would subtract the number of spaces. Now, to count the number of spaces, we use a string method. And so we first type in the name of the string. And just like above, when we had dot lower, now we're going to do dot count, and then in parentheses, what it is that we wanted to count. And so that would be the number of spaces. And so what we can do is we can tell it to print this. And when we run it, it does this calculation for us, and it tells us there are 1,149 characters, which includes all the letters plus any punctuation that's in there that we haven't already removed. Okay, now we have these three challenges. The two letters that occur most frequently. So there's a number of ways to do this. One is you could just say, all right, I know it's going to be a certain number of letters. I know, I'll say popular letters equals, and it could be an E, could be an A, could be maybe O, I, U. I'm sure it won't be U, but we'll just put that in S, T, R, N, maybe. And you know it's going to be one of those. So you could easily just do Gettysburg dot count and do E. Say, all right, well, how many E's are in there? And there's 165. And then we could check that against some of the other ones. So we could have, if we wanted to have it do multiple ones of these at the same time, we could do print Gettysburg count E, and then we could do print Gettysburg count A, and it'll print both of those, etc. There's another way to do this, which would be a little more what they say called Pythonic, which means a little more elegant, and that is that you have it go through that list of letters there and check to see which is the most common. So the way we would do that, we would say for letter in pop letters. So what that's going to do is it's going to take each letter in this string one at a time and put it into this variable called letter. I could have called this Bob. It doesn't matter. I'm just calling it letter because that's a better description of what we're doing here. Okay, so now I have, the first time this runs, the letter E will be in that variable letter. So I could say print Gettysburg dot count. And now what I wanted to count is not E, I wanted to count letter, because I wanted to keep doing the same thing, but the value of letter will change. And so now when I run this, and this should be Gettysburg, print Gettysburg dot count, and again, letter. Okay, so now when I do that, it's going to count every single one of these letters, and you can tell that the first one is E, but I want to know what letter it's counting, so I'm going to say print letter and Gettysburg.count letter. And now when it prints it, I'll get rid of these two here. Now when it runs, it tells me the letter that it's counting. Now, if you want it to be really complete, instead of having just pop letters here, I could put in, all letters and have A, B, C, D all the way up to Z, and that way it'll count every single letter in the alphabet, how many times it occurs. And that would be the solution to 3B here, where I would do what I did up here, except that I would replace pop letters with, alphabet equals, and then as a string, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, da, 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 up to Z. Okay. Now, here, same as above, but in order from most frequent to least frequent. Okay, so this gets a little more complicated. There's a number of ways to do this. One is the following. So we're basically going to do the same thing as we have here. We're going to use our little for loop here. And we'll say alpha equals A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so for letter in alphabet now. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a new list, and we'll call this, let's say, letter count. And the list is going to be empty at first. What we're going to do is, instead of printing here, we're going to append to letter count. So we're going to take our list and we're going to add to it an element, but what we're going to add is a little list, and that little list is going to consist of the count of the letters and the name of the letter. Okay, so by the time we're done here, and so then we'll say, I'll show you what we'll have. We'll print letter count. Okay, so here's what we have. We have A, 102, et cetera, et cetera. But now what we're going to do is we're going to look at what is sorted letter count. And we'll take out this print because it's just confusing matters. We have sorted letter count, and now you can see we have everything in order. There you have it. Okay. Okay, we want to create a list of all the words using split. So the idea of split is that you create a list, and the list from a string, and what it does is every time it encounters a space, it creates a new element. So first we'll say word list equals Gettys dot split. Okay, and then we'll print word list. Okay, and what you can see is that every time it encountered a space, it made a new element in this list here. And so now if we want to say, well, how many words are in there, we could just say print word list, or print length word list, and it tells us there's 271. Okay, now if we want to figure out what is the average length, well, we already figured out up here that this thing, this length Gettysburg minus Gettysburg count, gives us the count of how many characters there are. So what we'll do is we'll just, down here, we'll say letter count is equal to that value there. And so now what we can do here is we won't have it print these things here. We'll have it print length of word list, but we're first going to divide that by let count. or I'm sorry, divide let count by the number of words. So we're dividing the number of characters or the number of letters by the number of words. And when we do that, we get this value here, 4.2. So on average, each word has 4.24 letters in it. Okay, I'm not going to go over 4b. All right, and then task 5, we're just going to create a list of just the domains. Now, what we saw above was that we can split something every time it encounters a space. Well, I can also do something where I split each of these strings every time it encounters the @ sign. So here's what that might look like. I would say, but now I have to go through this list of emails and split each one of those. So I'm going to need a for loop. So what I'll do is here, I'll say for email in, and we called it emails. Okay, so in email, that variable, first I'm going to have the alice@gmail.com, then I'm going to have bob@yahoo.com. And so if I just say print email.split, but now I need to tell it not to split at space, which is the default, but to split the @ sign. Now, if I do that, oops, I forgot to run this. Okay, so now if I do this, you can see that it took each of these emails and it split it into 2 parts. Now, what I want is I want to keep only the second part here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, create an empty list. I'll call it domains equals. And what I'm going to do, instead of printing this, I'm going to append, but I'm not going to append the whole thing. I'm going to just take the second character, which has an index of 1, and that's what I'm going to append. So first I have to tell it what I have to append it to, domains.append. Okay, it did that, but let's make sure that it did that by looking at domains. So we'll say print domains. And there we have all of our domains. Okay, next thing is here, we run this, and every time we run it, it creates a different set of integers randomly selected between 1 and 100, and it selects 20 of them. That's what this command right here does. So each time I have this list of integers, it could be any integer from 1 to 100, and I wanted to run through, and I want to go through this and have it indicate whether it's even or odd. Okay, so what I get, again, I need to process a list. So I'm going to use a for loop. So I'm going to say for number. Again, I could have had any variable name there. And the name of our list is rand ints. And it's going to create, it's going to take rand ints and it's going to run that. We're going to run through that one number at a time. And so the way we tell if it's even or odd is we say if number %2, and that's the remainder when dividing by 2. If that's equal to 0, we'll, oops, we need our colon here. We'll print even. But why don't we make it a little fancier, and we'll say print f string, and we'll say our number variable, which is number, and then we'll say is even. Else, and we know that we only need an else, we don't need an elif, because we know that if it's not even, then we can say print this. Again, we'll just do the same thing here, and is odd. Okay, there we go.